Hey everybody, it's Miss A and I am here with the expectation video for our variables STEM Fair Notebook. So as you can see, the essential question is there: how can we determine our STEM variables? And we talked about that word determine, and we came up with some ideas of what we thought it meant. We said tell, describe, and figure out. And I talked to you guys about filling in the synonym in the spot. So how can we tell our STEM variables? How can we describe our STEM variables? Or how can we figure out our STEM variables? So here's what your journal entry should include. So these are the requirements of what needs to be in the STEM notebook. The class notes from today. Your scenario graphic organizer, which looks like this one right here, with the scenario that you had starred, but if you needed the extra credit, all the rest of them done. And your team graphic organizer, which is this one. And you must have your journal entry where you answer the variable questions. So we are going to go ahead and look at our PowerPoint so I can include that in there. So here we talked about our variables, and we are determining our variables. We have our manipulated, responding, and constant variables. And here are the questions that you're answering during your journal entry. So independent or manipulated and independent variable, you're answering, what's the one thing I am changing? So I am changing the type of soda. Here we go. Responding variable is what you're measuring. We are measuring the mass of the can, so we're the mass. And then held constant, that's everything that stays the same. What am I keeping that is the same? So that would be all the rest of the stuff. So here we have notes, and remember it says when designing an experimental investigation, it is important that you only have one manipulated or independent variable and one responding or dependent variables. All of the variables must be controlled, which means they stay the same. And I underlined what should be in your notes. So we are thinking about that soda challenge and thinking about what we are changing, what we are measuring, and then what stays the same. And so here we are identifying those variables. What we are measuring the mass of the soda before and after opening the can. What is the one thing we're changing on purpose is the type of Coca-Cola product. And what are we keeping the same? The gram scale, table, timer, log, pencil, sink, and recycling bin. So here is the page where you're answering, and this is your journal entry. We wrote it down on here that looks like this, but this slide actually is what your page looks like, so they're the same. And I put the two class topics there in the PowerPoint. And that's what you should be doing for that. And then this is the scenario sheet that we worked on together. We actually did in class and you had time to work on it. Here's our work together sheet. And if your partner didn't fill in your thoughts, don't worry about that. What should be filled in is your thoughts. Definitely has to be filled in. Here's an example of a STEM log. And you see how it just talks about what they learned today, which is taking the notes, and you've already done that in class. And you're answering those three questions related to if you're in the morning class, the cell phone chargers, and in the afternoon class, the soccer balls. And it says students must complete a variable journal entry, which must include lesson notes, completed graphic organizers, 2 of them, and the answer to these questions. What will I measure? What will I change on purpose? And what will I keep the same? All right, I hope that video helps. That's the expectation video for variables.